And hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Just BS, and this is our 5th episode. We've been going for literally over a month now, which is kind of cool. Of week-to-week podcasting. I am Thomas, a.k.a. Mr. Warburg.
And I'm Joe, a.k.a. Bottom Shelf Joe on Twitter.
A.k.a. is just Joe.
Instagram, a.k.a. it's Joe. I'm a boy, man. For boy times.
It is the week of May 6th. It's a Monday we're recording this. The last 4 episodes have been on Tuesdays. But in order to get in a little more on the Game of Thrones zeitgeist, we decided, fuck it. Monday nights at 8 o'clock. Because fuck it. We got some people in chat. We got Rhoda right now and a few others that hopefully will pop in before the night is through, guys. If you're lurking, hi. And this is, like I said, it's a live podcast. You can head over to twitch.tv/bottomshelfnerds every week, maybe every other week once Game of Thrones is done. We'll figure that out as things happen in life. Speaking of life, Joey.
Yes.
How have things been since last Tuesday?
I'm on the weekend shift now, Tom. I only work 3 days, get paid for 42 hours. It's going to be awesome. And I just ordered my new graphics card for my PC. So,
Ooh, what'd you go with?
In a bit, and we're going to redesign everything you see in the background. We're still trying to figure out if we should flip it. And then we have like 2 stands as of right now. On each side, trying to balance things out because right now I got the one. But
personally, I'd flip it because that way you only have to worry about the one door and not a door and an opening.
Yeah.
Right now, so you only got to worry about the closet under the stairs.
Yeah.
For that.
Which is
does that go in or out, that door?
It's a pocket door.
No, the one under the stairs.
Under stairs, that moves out. Comes towards me.
Okay.
Yeah. That's easy.
Yeah, and it's a fairly small door, so you don't have to worry about it too bad.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'd flip everything there and put there. But speaking of graphics cards, what'd you buy?
1080. I would say 1080. The 1070. Sorry.
Oh, you didn't do the TI? Oh shit! And what are you doing for the processor?
We're doing the Ryzen 270
X.
X, yes.
Ryzen 7 2700X. So it's basically my PC.
Yep.
As far as the guts go, what kind of RAM you doing?
RAM, we're doing 32 gigs.
All right, that's double me, but I'm gonna probably add some RAM.
We're gonna go crazy with that. What you already got? It's actually cheaper to get 4 8 gigs than like 2 16 gigs.
What speed you go?
DDR4 we went to 240.
Nice, that's what I got too. 2400 megahertz. The 3000s ones are really expensive.
So like, I wonder how big of a difference that makes, but
it makes a lot of difference on rendering.
Okay,
like if
so
you're
that
gonna be doing, if you're doing VR, if you're doing high-end 4K gaming, the RAM makes a massive difference.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't want to build a top-tier VR rig without a minimum 32 gigabytes of RAM and a hell of a graphics card.
Yeah.
So it's expensive. So what's the total cost on your build, if you don't mind saying?
We're scratched a little bit over $1,000.
Nice.
For 1,075, I think.
Not bad. I did mine for 12, but mine was a pre-build. So I paid a little more to have it just basically done.
Yeah. Well, I forgot to include the, I had to buy the operating system, so that's an extra, what is it,
$100, just about.
Yeah, so basically same then, yeah. Cool. Here.
All right. Well, my week since Tuesday was a birthday.
Woo!
Turned 29. Got some games. I got Spider-Man for PS4, Spyro for Xbox, the remastered trilogy, and Red Dead 2. Got some other stuff. And then basically spent an entire weekend working on a wood burning, which is actually right here.
Is that the D&D one?
The screen. It is indeed the D&D one.
Dope AF.
I'm real happy with how it turned out. It's a little under 15 inches wide and 7 1/4 tall. I've got some nice scorched edges here on the side, if you can see my mouse. Can I zoom in at all? What's my...
I like the scorched edges.
There, let's zoom in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some scorched edges up here. And the sides are blowtorched down here. The actual border on the outside is all blowtorched. The lacquer came out real good. It's nice and smooth. So this is now this piece now makes 12 total pieces minimum that I'm taking to RTX, and I've got a few more in the works.
I'll be freaking good.
I got an Assassin's Creed small coaster set, a Ruby coaster set, and I'm redoing the Mass Effect Paragon in the Streets, Renegade in the Sheets sign.
So how many coasters are you gonna have with each set?
Set of 4.
Set of 4? Nice. Okay.
Yep.
Good.
And the plan is to launch a commissions website called Tom's Pyrography. pyrography, sometime after the charity stream.
Okay.
Because I've already got all the assets and stuff for like
Yeah.
the photos that I would need. I actually keep a pretty good list of all my finished pieces, as well as individual photos for them. So I'm excited to see where that goes. I'm just gonna probably do a Weebly site, maybe the Squarespace site if the RT podcast or somebody gets sponsored by them again.
I'll let you know if any podcast listeners are sponsored also.
Hell yeah, man! I'll totally use that 20% off coupon so that way I can. I'd pay a year ahead of time to get the cheaper rate, then keep it for a year, see if it grows. If not, downscale into maybe a Weebly, which is way cheaper. Because I think the year basic for them is like 60 versus 144.
Really?
For Squarespace.
What were we paying for Weebly? I don't remember.
I think we had the $5 one.
Yeah.
But you got the URL. It's not a .weebly. It's a .com.
Yeah. .com. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's like
So-
$5 a month if you pay it a year.
Okay.
It's more
So
if you buy it month to month.
So what's the .weebly?
Those are like the free ones.
Free ones? Okay.
Yeah, those are real cheap.
Speaking of, oh gosh, getting websites domains. My mom's like, hey, can you want to make me a website? I'm like, okay, what's your domain name? Went and typed it in for her, and the website she wants, so innocent, it was like rosebud.com, is essentially you can buy sex toys there in sex magazines.
Doesn't surprise me. Not with a name
I was
like that.
wait, what? Mom was like, just told her, I was like, yeah, it's a porn store, Mom. We have to go with a different URL. It's like, oh.
Yeah. So how's that going?
Good, actually. Doing a lot of coffee. Selling some antiques, surprisingly. Didn't expect that from the little town that we have. What else? Yeah, the coffee's doing really good, and we actually have a cappuccino machine that actually works because the first one we got only did 20 cappuccinos. How do I say that? And it crashed. Cappuccini? Yeah. Bulk cappuccinos? I don't know. But and then it crapped out. The mom went upgraded to a hell of a nice one. And that one's been doing pretty good. It's done more than 20 so far. So, I mean, we're progressing. Cappuccino machines. So,
real quick, would you tilt your webcam down like just a touch?
Yeah. Touch too much? Or?
That's better. Yeah.
All right.
That way you're feeling just about the same height of the frame as myself.
Okay. Well, I've been getting angry at video games lately, so
yeah, works for me.
So
yeah, other stuff going on. So I was actually just involved in a Twitter thread, and this one's pretty cool. I really like this one. So one of the people I follow on Twitter is Eric Goldman. Let me zoom in a little more.
Okay.
Hopefully, you guys can see this well enough on stream. Rhoda, let me know. I think I've got it framed pretty well. I'm at 200%, so hopefully you can see it. So Eric Goldman is one of the people I follow on Twitter. He used to do reviews at IGN, and him and Matt Fowler and a few others are some of the reviewers that I follow regularly. To be like, hey, what do you think about just to, I've always kind of vibed with what they wrote or what they have in videos and whatnot, and they're just fun personalities to follow too. So they put out a thing about like he quote tweeted, since everybody apparently is mad at Game of Thrones now, here's a question for you. What's a TV show you thought ended really, really well? And I actually wanted to ask this question to you, Joey, too. You watch more anime-type stuff than I do, but a lot of series itself, regardless of the different genre, it's still a lot of series. And some of the storytelling tropes are the same across any genre, stuff like the hero's journey and stuff like that. Like, that doesn't matter what medium of a story you're telling, it's the same story. It's still good, which is why everyone fucking does it, because it's still, very... It just makes you feel something if you're doing it well. So his list was Angel, the Buffy spinoff, Parks and Rec, The Shield, Person of Interest, which by the way, it's one of the best finales I've ever watched. Black Sails, and The Americans. The Americans is a show I always meant to watch and I just never did. One of those.
I got to the first season and liked it, and then I just forgot to get back into the second season. It's one of those dumb things I've done.
Yeah, I always meant to do it. It was like around the same time I got into Justified, and I was really busy with school, so I never got into it. And then I got home and I was broke, and I didn't have cable anymore, so I never really had a chance to watch it. Now that it's all out on streaming services, I think it's all on Prime. Not that it probably will be for long, now that I think Disney owns all of it. We'll see what happens. Another one, and my answer, and I want to get your opinion here in a second. So number one, his Person of Interest choice, top notch. It's a fantastic finale. 12 Monkeys had, I think, the best final season of a show I've ever watched.
Okay.
Start to finish, wire to wire. I think it was only like 7 episodes, maybe 6. It's fucking amazing. Every single episode had just a gut punch moment, a shocking twist. It tied up bits of the lore because it's a time travel show, loops on loops on loops,
shit.
and it just kept paying every single one off. And not just in a hey, we're checking boxes. No, like in a way that I cried in the finale. I don't cry at shit. I teared up. I was like, I was happy crying. I was sad crying. It was emotionally just devastating in the best fucking way a TV finale can be. It was like finishing like a book or something that you've been invested in for years. Like the best feeling I could describe was like finishing Harry Potter 7, Deathly Hallows, times like 50.
Okay.
Because it was a more visual medium and I had connected with the characters, all of the characters, that much more. It was fantastic. Then, literally 2 minutes before the podcast starts, the fucking showrunner of the show, Terry Metallus, I can't remember how his last name, one of the showrunners, I think, literally just tweeted, it was like, thank you, Thomas. Like,
nice!
Yes! It's awesome.
Ah, shit, yeah!
I fucking love the internet sometimes, man, because of shit like this.
That's
It's
a feels
awesome.
good, mate. No, so, how was your, okay, going to justify an ending, because we literally talked about this at work today. How was your feeling on Justified ending?
Justified's finale was very fitting for the type of show Justified was.
Okay.
It was never a show that was going to pay everything off and give everyone a happy ending. It was always a very real-world Western. Like, it had a very Western ending in that the hero is still around doing his thing, but he kind of got a bittersweet ending. Like, he didn't get back together with his wife. They have a kid, but he's not really that involved in her life. Yeah. You know, like, he's her dad, but he's a co-dad, basically. Yeah. You know, to her stepdad. So
yeah. Oh, jeez.
He gets a bittersweet ending. The villain gets a good ending, and then a couple of the side characters get good endings too, and that's it. Okay. Like, it's not a super long epilogue type ending of a show.
Okay.
So.
No, because that, like, watching Justified, it felt like a modern Western.
Yeah, and it's a very Western ending.
Feel. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, what is your answer to the question, Joey? What is the best ending show you've ever watched?
Best ever.
Rhoda, start thinking. I'm going to ask you if you're still watching in a second.
That is TV show. I usually never make it to the endings because I never want.
Yeah, I know, because you've never seen the finale of Battlestar.
That's a big problem. I know. I still need to finish Battlestar Galactica.
It's all on Prime.
Is it all on Prime? Yeah, I'll just.
It's all on Prime. I went and rewatched the Occupation episodes of season 3 when they're on New Caprica. When he fucking drops in the Galactica in atmosphere and just falls while the Vipers shoot out. Holy fucking shit!
Yeah, that's an intense scene.
What a moment! Crap. One of the greatest moments in television history. It's so fucking cool.
God, the only thing I'm stuck on is probably. I thought Full Metal Alchemist had a good ending from what I can remember. As a kid, I just remember it sticking out to me. Because it's all about, like, this balance of things you give and take. And, like, they use alchemy in this world because they have to put equal parts in to get equal parts out, essentially. And, like, these things were, like, summoning with magic. And they never could figure out, God. Like, I can't think of it because it's been so long since I watched it. Sorry.
I should have gave you the question ahead of time. That's my bad.
Yeah, no, you're good. So basically, like, they would use magic to, like quickly, like, fix things and make things, and they thought everything was balanced. The issue was that they were taking from another dimension's people. Like, someone, every time they used their magic or whatever, or alchemy, someone would die in the other world. And so the only reason was found that somebody... Oh God! There's a portal. Someone went back to that into that place that they're killing from, and like World War II was happening essentially. Like bombs are happening, lots of people are dying. So that explained why. I don't know. So I'm doing a really bad justice to it. I'm so sorry, but yeah.
Well, that was
I think Full Metal Alchemist had a really good wrap up for me.
That was our 2-minute in review of Full Metal Alchemist. I hope you enjoyed it.
I'm so sorry. Don't do that. Don't cut it. Please don't. No. I thought that had a good ending for me. A good wrap up.
All right, Rhoda. While I'm pulling up some numbers on Avengers Endgame, which is another thing that made some news this weekend, number 2. what is your favorite television or show or finale of like a book or a movie series of all time? Let me know. I know you don't watch as much stuff, but I'd like to get your opinion because this is a live podcast. People talking to the chat is what we like to do. So, you can hang out with Rhoda while he's probably studying most nights.
He's a studying man.
Yeah, because he's gonna be a doctor.
Be a doctor.
It's more of a research type doctor, though, right? I'm not crazy because we have several medical people in this group.
That's kind
in
of
our
fun.
little community.
One
of whom is an actual like nurse, and another one who's like studying to be a doctor. And I have a friend who has a PhD. No, did you get the master's, or is it just a master's? Anyway, she studied dark matter and black holes and shit, and like actually been published on that subject, like a literal rocket scientist, basically.
Damn, all right.
It's a whole thing. So yeah, Endgame. Let's go to number 2. The weekend box office from AV. I use AV Club at work mostly because it's one of the few nerd sites that isn't firewalled to hell. How do I scroll over? Where's my scroll? Oh, okay.
Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, Avengers Endgame topped the domestic box office this past weekend. And a lot of analysts are saying it probably will until at least John Wick 3, and that's more of like a 50-50, which is the following weekend from this weekend, which I'm really fucking excited about. John Wick 3, dude. Fucking katana fights on motorcycles. Oh,
God.
Fuck. Just that scene alone, I'm going to love this movie. And there's
he's
a
on
lot
horse
more
too.
scenes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's on a horse fighting motorcycles with pistols and shit. Oh, I'm excited. But also this month we got Godzilla King of the Monsters coming out, which will definitely dethrone Avengers by then because it'll have been a month and a week. It'll have been 5 weeks, and it's Godzilla with Mothra, Rodan,
Everyone.
and King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
Is it King Ghidorah or just Ghidorah?
I think it's King Ghidorah.
I can't remember. And the week before Aladdin comes out. So
Bitch, I don't know what you.
it's gonna make a lot of money. I'm not gonna see that movie.
Yeah.
But I do want to go see
it.
Detective Pikachu, actually. Like,
I do too.
unironically, I want to go see that movie because it's actually getting good reviews, which I really like. But yeah, then the 17th is John Wick. Plus, I kind of want to go see Long Shot. Seth Rogen, Charlize Theron. Theron? I think it's Theron, actually. It's a whole thing. But yeah, so far, Endgame through 2 weekends has pulled in $619 million domestically, and it's the 9th biggest domestic release in U.S. history. And at over $2 billion, it's the 2nd biggest movie of all time in 2 weeks. For the record, of like I want to say the 2.8 billion Avengers, Avatar pulled in. It took like something like 2 years over multiple theatrical runs.
Oh, jeez, okay.
This movie might do it by the end of May.
That's fucking crazy to think about.
That's fucking sane.
Well, let's think about this movie made $1 billion a week.
In 3 days.
Oh,
in 3 fucking days.
3 days it made a solid $1 billion, and then it took another, was it week or was it 11 days after that to freaking make another $1 billion? I'm like,
but to put this in perspective, you know what made more in a 3-day span? Red Dead 2.
Whoa.
Red Dead 2 and Grand Theft Auto are the 2 biggest entertainment opening like weekend products of all time.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah. It's crazy how much fucking money they pulled in. It was over $1.5 billion, I think.
And people are still putting money into
several million copies in one
GTA.
weekend at $60 a pop. They made just obscene amounts of money.
Stupid amount. Holy cow. Well, and think about GTA. People are still playing it a lot.
It's still one of the biggest games in the world.
I mean, I want to see what that money has been gross since now. Jeez.
Oh, I'm sure there's studies are how much money they've made since they've done that. But yeah, we're gonna go back to the main cam here.
Not method.
Because Rhoda, it's time for the Game of Thrones talk. What we're here about, what our title is about. All of a sudden, Game of Thrones sucks, and we're gonna yell about it. Maybe. Question mark. All right. So, episode 4, The Last of the Starks dropped last night. Like I said, we're watching this on Monday. Joey, first blush, what were your thoughts? We'll give a little blow by blow of the plot after we give our first impressions of the last of the Starks.
I'm gonna start
Now,
off.
if they had to put this out the weekend where Tony died, because the spoiler ban's up. What? Well, Rhoda, if you're watching, you probably already know what happened because you read the wiki. I'm pretty sure. So,
I was gonna say odd and funny is kind of I'd say total overall of last night's episode. Because it starts off like what I expect is they're paying homage to everyone that kind of died during the battle and burning the pikes. And there's a lot of bodies that had to burn.
oh fuck yeah,
That was a quick cleanup too. Damn, man.
yeah,
I mean, like from the undead to the people they lost. I mean, hundreds of thousands. I'm just guessing.
yeah.
Of bodies they have to go through. And then it goes into kind of them celebrating the victory of Winterfell, which is good. And there's the whole Starbucks thing, which I just opened my phone recently.
Yeah,
and
they
there's a whole blog
accidentally.
thing about this.
Well, the reason they did is because the flagons and stuff were all filled with lattes.
Yeah.
It was a long shoot. They said it was like 17 days to shoot that or something like that.
Jeez.
17 pages took 5 days. So like it was a long
my
shoot for a single section scene where it's all in one location. So a lot of long days to pull something like that off.
Yeah.
So they were just filling them with like lattes and coffee and stuff, and
Okay.
mostly at actors' request because they were probably tired of drinking water, you know,
Yeah.
or like colored water and shit for forever. So they just were like, yeah, well,
The lattes.
and then they forgot to take a cup away.
Which I guess I'm totally fine with. Because I didn't notice it, and I guess Fusion said he wouldn't rewatch it and said it wasn't there. But I didn't notice it at first glance.
Yeah, I didn't either.
But I'm not one of those people dissecting every scene.
But then there's a shot in like season 2 or 3 where all the Lannisters are standing by each other, and the guy who plays Jaime is clearly holding like a cup of noodles in his hand, and he's like trying to hide it.
That's pretty funny.
Like he clearly just forgot he had it in his hand before they rolled, and he just was like kind of hiding it, like cocking his arm a little weird. Yeah, and then one of my favorite comments is, "Well, that's clearly why he lost the hand."
Couldn't hide it properly. No, one thing that got to me, I'm not for sure if like Dany was trying to flex or something.
She did a lot of trying to flex on this episode, and it all blew up in her face.
Yeah, that God, so true. But when she gave Podrick,
Gendry.
no, I got that wrong. Gendry, yeah.
Storm's End for
Storm's End,
for all that it's worth.
What the fuck is Storm's End?
Storm's End is the ancestral home of the Baratheons.
Oh, okay. So have we seen that?
Nope, we've heard them
Okay.
talk about it, but we've never seen it.
Okay, so for all we know, it's just covered in vines and
Yeah,
being
because
destroyed.
Renly was in charge of it, but he was always in King's Landing, so we've never seen it.
Oh, okay.
Renly was the youngest Baratheon brother of the three. It was Robert, Stannis, and Renly. We never saw Storm's End.
So we never did see it. Okay, confirm.
Exactly.
So we don't know what kind of condition it's in.
Yeah, and the
So-
Stormlands are essentially directly south of King's Landing.
Oh,
So like King's Landing is actually kind of central in Westeros, and then the
Okay.
Stormlands are, it's like the north, the Riverlands, the Reach, and then the west, and then the Stormlands, and then Dorne.
Oh.
Plus
okay.
the Iron Islands are up in the northeast,
Kind
off
of
the
in the
coast of the
ballpark,
north,
yeah.
basically.
We gotta talk about that. But it's kind of weird flex. Like she just gave him this land, and I thought like during that time she was gonna say something about Jon being.
Oh, she wouldn't have said it to anybody.
I thought for some odd reason she was gonna be like, "Well, Jon bent the knee to me" or something dumb like that. Like for a second, I was like, "Dude, is she gonna fucking?"
She did a lot of
split here?
dumb shit.
I know, and I thought this
Well, a
was gonna
lot of
be
people
like
were doing a lot of dumb shit last
the
night.
start of the dumb shit. I thought that was gonna start it off, but she kind of did something okay. I thought give him a castle that no one's seen, or probably still there. There's probably people there. I don't know. It's a
Oh
weird
yeah, there's
assumption.
still people there. I mean, I assume there's no way they just left a castle just sitting in the middle of fucking nowhere. But
Yeah.
and plus, it's not like they exactly have the manpower to take it over because it's south of King's Landing. So,
Yeah,
you know.
that's true.
Also,
and then,
Austin. That's Austin, right?
yes, it is.
It's not Has. It's Have. Okay. Different name. I totally agree. I thought this was
Yeah.
better and more Game of Thrones than last week.
Yeah. Because last week felt like it wasn't a Game of Thrones fight, if that makes sense, right?
Well, it was, but it definitely felt like, yeah, we're not in the end game yet. The characters keep saying we are, but we know we're not.
Yeah.
Like, there was a weird disconnect where it just didn't work. And I think that's one of the things I think that's holding up Martin in the books is that he's given himself 2 climaxes. It's like, that's going to be fucking hard to pull off in a book with as many characters as he's got on the board, let alone a show that has a budget and a deadline and all these things where they're like forcing it to end.
Tons of people to pay.
It's going to be really fucking hard to end in a book that you're writing on your own time, where you've literally painted yourself in a massive corner because you have to pay off the White Walkers in the book, which are far more, and he's going to have to explain a lot more in the book than the show ever did. Which I actually thought the show did a pretty good job of basically making him silent Darth Vader, basically. His appeal. Mute evil, basically. Yeah. Without ever having to say a word. And he's also got to pay off Cersei and the Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the show's got the same problem. And I do think I have more faith in the final battle than I did the Battle of Winterfell.
Okay.
Because it's going to happen during the day.
Yeah. True.
And exactly. The White Walker babies, like all that shit. Like the show was never going to have enough time to pay that off, which really ticked me off. And there's a lot about this episode I loved. That first 20 minutes where it's just in Winterfell, I got so many shades of the beginning of Return of the King when they're in Rohan celebrating the Battle of Helm's Deep. Got such shades of that. Jon's speech as he's setting the bodies on fire.
Oh, that was good.
Fuck, that was good. Right?
Really good.
Like, so many great character moments. Some out-of-character moments, which I also didn't like. Like, Tyrion just becomes a drunk fucking asshole. Like, basically calls out, like, yeah, Brienne, you're a total virgin.
Yeah, that was kind of what the weirdest freaking, like, overdid it.
Whereas, like, clearly Tyrion respects her. Like, very clearly, given in episode 2, which is, I think, maybe one of the top 5 greatest Game of Thrones episodes. Season 2, episode 2, the Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yes!
Fuck, that was good.
That was
like,
really
especially
well
in
done.
retrospect of episodes 3 and 4. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, what an episode. And this one had some awesome political intrigue. The Varys Tyrion scenes, they had like 3 scenes together. It was awesome.
That's the most he's spoken for a long time.
Which makes me pretty sure he's dead next episode.
Oh. Yeah, he's talking about betrayal a lot in that area.
And
like,
it constantly, the frame just kind of stuck on him.
Yeah, dude, I thought he was going to eat a dagger at some point. I shit you not during that scene.
I think he is in the next episode, and that's going to be the final straw for Tyrion, is that he's trying to save Varys.
Yeah.
And Daenerys is just like, I'm sorry.
He's speaking of betrayal.
And then he's like, fuck it. All in on Jon now. Jon also, fucking moron. And he's the worst pet owner in the world.
It's true.
I get that they're expensive. I get that the direwolves are expensive, but you got fucking dragons.
Yes.
The fuck? How expensive are they? If you can pull off dragons very reasonably well, by the way.
Yeah.
And you can't pull off one direwolf. You can't even let him go pet the direwolf.
Yeah, no one touches fucking the one-eared thing. I mean, come on. Fucking pet the puppy.
What the fuck? Very upsetting.
Yeah. Tormund
gets a good goodbye. Obviously, Jaime and Brienne hook up.
Yep. I'm
Sansa's...
sad that the the people in the North are leaving. Like, but it makes sense, kind of. Like, the South is not for them. I mean,
still, I have a suspicion about what we're going to see next week, and I'll tell you that in a second. Okay. So we started Winterfell, the funeral, the celebration right after, and then the planning of what we're going to do now that the Great War is here. And we get some awesome Sansa moments where she's like, yeah, this is fucking stupid. And at this point, everyone should be like, yeah, let's listen to her. She was right about Battle of the Bastards. She had done a hell of a job leading Winterfell.
Mm-hmm.
And she's totally right that, our guys are fucking exhausted.
Yeah, they just fought a 12-hour
Your dragon
battle,
has, got his chest ripped apart.
Yeah.
Let's,
Fuck.
take a day and just not do anything.
Yeah, instead of doing a 40-day march down south. Fuck.
Fucking dumb.
That's not good army management.
Right? And like John up to season episodes 3 and 4 has been portrayed as a fairly competent military commander.
Yeah.
Made some dumb decisions sometimes in the heat of the moment on the battlefield, but a good tactician. He would have been like, yeah, she's kind of right. Plus, our castle's been blown to shit, so if we need to retreat up here, our castle's fucked.
Yeah.
So maybe we should rebuild that too. And just brushes it off because he's wanting to bend the knee and please Daenerys.
Yeah, which I thought, I'm sorry, I agree with that.
And she's clear. And by the way, remember what I said on our very first Just BSing about how they're totally doing the Mad Queen?
Oh yeah,
I do believe I called that.
Now.
I'm pretty damn sure they're going down that road.
They so are. I mean, it's kind of telegraphed at that point in time after what we saw near when they actually get to King's Landing. I mean, fucking A.
Yeah.
No.
I saw, I want to say back in season 6 when she's talking about, like, burning all the different slave cities to the ground, and Tyrion's like, yeah, no. Like, okay, they're going to go that route. And then they're really going that route. And they're making it make sense for her, I think, because they've now told her descent basically in a little over a season. She kind of started losing it in season 7. And now she's totally, like, she's on the edge.
Because at this point in time, she lost another fucking dragon.
And her two, oldest advisors and friends.
I know!
In back-to-back episodes.
Fuck!
In really gut-wrenching ways. Like, Jorah going full Boromir. Like,
oh, God, yeah. Taking
badass
everyone
way to
out.
go. And she sees him die right in front of her.
Yeah. So sad.
And that was like the cap of one of the caps of episode 3. And then the cap of episode 4 is her best friend getting beheaded by an undead monster.
Yeah. I mean, oh, God. But her friend... But she says... Does she say fire, right?
Yeah, she says Dracarys. Which, by the way...
Okay, just double checking.
Miss Sande would not have said that, in my
No!
opinion. That's another out-of-character moment.
Because it's like, wait, she's very peaceful.
Yeah, like she's not a violent person.
Burn thousands of people alive because they're fucking chose behind the wall. Like, no! Freaking...
Yeah. Like, she was only ever that violent when talking about, like, slavers and stuff. When it's like, she has no connection to Cersei. She has no reason to really hate Cersei outside of being captured, of course. But now she's going to say burn thousands of people alive because fuck it.
That doesn't even fit.
YOLO.
Yeah. Freaking it. Can we talk about the ambush of the dragon quick? Where was that?
That was on their way to Dragonstone.
On their way to Dragonstone.
Yeah, they had set that up in the map scene, which they could have done a better job because they explained it at the beginning, and then they spent so long in the argument between Sansa and Daenerys and all that shit that you forget what they said at the very beginning of that scene, where they were laying out, here's where we're going. And it was another weird scene where, this is another thing where I think they're setting up the defection of Jon. Sorry for my voice there. Where Jon moves pieces on the board, and then Grey Worm comes over and just takes the Unsullied away from what Jon had moved and put it somewhere else on the map. Yeah, and gives him like a weird look, and is like, all right, first off, motherfucker, Jon Snow is the reason the world is standing, because none of you assholes would have came north if he wouldn't have been like, hey, fuck all your shit.
Exactly.
Let's go not die.
Lay siege to the fucking Lannister castle. Fucking.
Yeah. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not great.
No, but...
And I'm pretty sure they're going to go the route of she's going to beat Cersei in the field. Okay. Cersei's going to die in the aftermath. Probably not directly by Daenerys.
Okay.
And then in the aftermath, like King's Landing's fucked. Like that city's fucked. Which is why I don't think anyone's going to be on the throne at the end, because there's not going to be a fucking throne. There's not going to be a King's Landing to rule from.
That shit's going to get so fucked up.
Because of what she does in episode 5.
Do you think Jaime still kills her, though? Cersei,
I think so, or at least he's going to try to.
Okay.
I don't know who's gonna actually land that blow, or if it's gonna be more like she's dying from like a wound or a miscarriage, or something happens.
Yeah.
Because there's clearly, I think, going to be a bit of a time jump.
Yeah, they're going to go to Siege, right?
Yeah, because John's still on the way, and he's in episode 5. So there's going to be a bit of a jump, and there's scenes in the preview where she goes to Dragonstone.
Okay.
So she clearly leaves and regroups. So it's going to be a bit of a jump. So Cersei maybe a little bit farther along in the pregnancy at this point. And so I think that could still happen and fit into the prophecy of being killed by the little brother, because she's the oldest of the 3. So then if it's Jaime's kid who miscarries and kills her, fits the prophecy.
Jaime.
If that's the final nail in the coffin, essentially.
All right.
Or it could be Jaime actually killing her, maybe to put her out of her misery because something like crushes her or whatever in the Red Keep when it's all burning down around her.
There we go.
Could see something like that, and they die together, which would kind of like he kills her first and then dies. I was hoping for a line from him about like you can't save your sister, and then he goes, "I'm not going to save her," and just rides off.
I was fucking hoping for that too. There was fucking because Brienne, she's like heartbroken. She thinks she's going back to fucking.
Which also makes me sad we're not going to get another Brienne fight scene because she's not going south.
I feel like she can't though. She can't because she's protecting, but I feel like she wants to so bad. But Jaime actually finds love finally, and then he's got to go back and freaking try to kill.
Yeah.
I love the joke, by the way. Tyrion's just like, "Oh, you finally get to climb for it." He's like, "I finally get to do tall jokes." I'm like, yeah.
They had the brothers had some fantastic moments, like
so fucking
awesome moments, like when Bronn kicks in the door, the crossbow.
Oh God.
So that, and speaking of Bronn, there's a few wild cards at play here.
Okay.
All right, you got Bronn, obviously.
Yep.
I don't think he's going to play any part because he's never going to play a scene with Cersei because those two actors and actors, they fucking hate each other, apparently.
Because they can't. Because of
like,
marriage.
they can't stand to see each other. So they're never going to share a scene together.
Yep.
Which, by the way, why'd you cast that guy to play Bronn then? Because he came after Cersei. Just saying.
Yeah.
Even though both season 1, still, it's kind of weird, given what you knew where the story was going, that you casted people that can't act together.
Season 1. Shit.
I don't know.
Did they have the falling out before, or was it during this?
I'm pretty sure it was before.
Before?
Like I think reading right, it was before. But again, that's gossipy stuff. I don't want to get too deep in the weeds on that.
Okay. Yeah. No fact.
So the one wild card is Bronn. Another one is Tormund. I don't think we've seen the last of them.
Do you think he's gonna show up with a small army again?
I don't think he's gonna show up south.
Okay.
I think he's gonna be in the finale.
Oh.
I think if what I'll say where I think we see him again later when I give my final predictions for the finale, because it's going to be, I think 5 is the finale, 6 is the epilogue, more or less. Maybe the back half of 6 is the epilogue. Maybe I don't know.
Okay.
The other is the Hound and Arya Part 2.
Yeah.
They hit the road. They're both like more fully formed characters now. They've grown as people. One's become a badass, like the world-killing assassin, and the other is the fucking Hound who's going to have to go kill his brother, or try to kill his brother.
Yeah. A quick interrupt. Who kills the Mountain? Grey Worm or the Hound?
I think the Hound, and I think they kill each other. I don't think the Hound has much purpose beyond killing his brother.
That is true.
And I don't see him needing to serve a purpose after that in a story. So I think he's dead fighting his brother. Whether or not he succeeds is a story for another time. And maybe Arya is the one that lands the killing blow to try to defend him.
Yeah.
I
don't think Arya plays another big assassin though.
I think this is where I think happens with Arya. I think she's going to get damn close to killing Cersei. And maybe she's the one that gets the first blow.
Okay.
But then she gets caught.
Yeah.
And the Mountain comes after her. Mountain swings the sword. Wham! Another sword catches it, and it's the Hound.
The Hound. Okay.
And then they go at it while Arya basically is like licking her wounds because the Hound like the Mountain punched her across a room or something.
Yeah. The undead. I want to see what's under that fucking helmet, by the way. I need to see that.
They can barely afford a direwolf, so clearly they're not going to afford to show that.
And fucking goddamn.
That and the guy who plays the Mountain, he has Bell's palsy. And he had it, I think, during shooting, which is when half your face gets paralyzed.
Okay.
Yeah. So really, he's just under the helmet.
Okay.
Basically. Yeah. Bell's palsy is a weird thing where basically like your face has a stroke.
Yeah.
Mostly, it's not your brain or like doesn't really affect the brain or like the rest of your body or anything. It's just your face. Like it just gets frozen.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird thing that they don't really know what causes it.
Okay. So I have a theory that Grey Worm makes an attempt to kill the Mountain.
I can see that, and I think the Unsullied are going to kind of lose it because of the whole Missandei thing.
Yeah.
You know, she was, especially given her connection to Grey Worm, someone they all really respected, and then to see her die like that, that's what makes me go, all right, she's got a dragon and a whole pissed off army of Dothraki and Unsullied. Yeah, King's Landing's fucked.
Yeah, it's going to get hit so hard. But the thing is, like King's Landing, it's very well defended right now because it has crossbows. Those giant freaking...
Yeah, until the Unsullied get in there and fuck them all up.
Dude, those things... They can't even do, like, siege equipment because those things are so goddamn powerful. Because we saw what they did to boats. They basically just shot through a boat.
That was a pretty... While it was definitely Euron Ex Machina, they didn't set it up at all, which is another complaint I had about this episode.
Yeah, it was random.
It felt like a lesser show in the writing. Like in the pacing, I should say. Not specifically the dialogue, but in the pacing. Like, earlier in the show's run, I read a fun piece about how, like, you would finish scenes. Like, you would see how characters react to bombshells and to statements. And you'd see finishes of conversations, and they'd both leave the scene, staying on the room. Both parties would leave.
Okay.
Now we're getting cliffhangers on scenes. Like, back to back to back to back to back. Like, we don't see how Arya and Sansa react to Jon and Bran dropping the bomb about his parentage.
Yeah, fuck!
It just cuts.
Like,
right?
Really?
And we don't see Cersei say, hey, we heard via our Qyburn spies that, oh, we know they won, so they're going to be coming back south.
Mm-hmm.
Go lay a trap. We know she's going to go for Dragonstone. Nobody sets that up.
Yeah,
if that had been set up, even an episode... if that had been set up in the beginning of 3.
Okay, yeah.
Like, you open with King's Landing, Qyburn's running in with a scroll saying they won. And then that, I think, would have made more sense. Like, you set up that they know that they're coming back south. The ambush would have made more sense.
Yeah, because it felt like... I don't know, to me it just felt random. Like, he's there, well prepared, aiming basically at a dragon and no one saw, and then lays waste to one. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah,
he bats 1,000 on the 1, 3 for 3.
Yeah.
And then misses like 0 for 60.
Yeah, it's just hilarious.
Streakiest shooter in the land.
Supposed to be.
Yeah.
Freaking. Well, then Dany goes on like a suicide run, but her dragon, I think.
Drogon.
Drago. Well.
Drago? What are you watching Rocky for? I'll break you.
I will break you. That's what I was going for. It just... Then she went on a suicide run, and then the God dang it, sorry. It's like, no. Drogon is like, no. I think that... I don't know. It just felt weird that Dany would freaking just do a suicide run at the ships.
I think that shows she's losing it. Like,
it just didn't seem to fit.
She's off the rails, dude.
Yeah.
And that was before Missandei bit the dust.
Yeah. Frick. And then I felt she felt lonely at Winterfell, because, like, when,
Jon's getting all the praise.
Yeah, Jon the Praise, like, oh yeah, he should be king, blah, blah. And Dany's like, oh. And then kind of gets up and walks away, and then that's where Varys kind of follows her. I'm like, you ain't whispering toxic things into her ears, man, are ya? No, but he wouldn't do that. Because he's all about the realm, apparently. Which he does say that before.
Oh, yeah. He's totally going to betray her, and then she's going to catch him. The Unsullied are going to lose it, and I think Varys is a goner. He's going to have an awesome little thing at the end, I think. And then I think... So, all right. I think we've mostly laid out our issues and our likes of Episode 4.
Yeah.
So let's move into Endgame predictions. We're coming up on about 45 minutes probably of podcast goodness. Then we still got to get to the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. So let's move into predictions for Episode 5 and beyond, for where we think the series might end in some of the big picture stuff, not the minutia of each individual character.
Okay.
So what do you think is going to happen next week, Joe?
I think... Oh, God. King's Landing gonna take a punishing blow.
Yeah.
Just armies colliding, people starving on the inside. I'm still trying to figure out what makes Jarl look up in the air and look in fear. Because there's an end cut. Euron.
Jarl, the Jarl.
The Jarl! Sorry! Fucking For Honor. And fucking... Yeah, I was playing a Viking Jarl. And, But he looks up in the sky with fear, and I'm not for sure why. And
she's pulling a Japanese Zero. She's coming out of the sun.
But he wouldn't be afraid of that.
No,
I think
he's out of position. And the dragon's fucking on them.
Or is it a murder of crows controlled by Brand?
I think that's the scene he dies.
That scene he bites it?
I think that's the scene Euron dies, because we never see him after that in the preview. I think that's early. I think that's early in the episode. Like, she just fucking destroys their fleet before they have a chance to react. Comes right out of the sun, just burns the commanders of all the ships, like gets Euron and everybody, takes a huge swath of them out, and then just leaves.
Okay.
And then we move into the next phase of the attack. I could totally see Euron being the first major enemy death, bad guy death of episode 5.
I just want to see a murder of crows controlled by Bran. So I want to see.
Why didn't they use that before?
I know.
Like, why not use him to scout? He's the most powerful warg in the fucking world.
Yeah, fucking best scout ever. Freaking just a couple crows. Freaking
This is where they have pieces on the board they just don't use in ways that the characters in previous seasons would have used them. That's why a lot of people, I think, are giving it some shit. And I know it's endgame stuff, so you gotta just get through shit.
Yeah.
But come on.
Yeah.
I think this is where it would have helped, I think, to have at least one more episode.
Yeah. I think it would have too. Although I think Dany dies in the throne room. I feel that's kind of fitting for her. And then I think Jon Snow will be the ultimate winner of...
Oh, I don't think there's a winner. I think there's no throne.
Okay, Cersei's throne, no winner.
I think there's no throne. I think that it's all gone. Because, so for me, they're going to burn King's Landing. They're going to win. And then Jon's going to be watching with Tyrion going, fuck.
Can't freaking take this.
Sansa was right.
Yeah. And
then Jon's going to probably kill her. And then I don't think he's going to take a throne or even take Winterfell. I think he's going to peace up north. That's where I think Tormund comes back. Jon just kind of goes into self-imposed exile with the wildlings in the north.
That makes sense.
I think that'd be really fitting for a character. He's got nothing left to fight for.
Yeah.
Cersei's dead. The Lannisters are gone, pretty much. Outside of Tyrion, who's always been a decent guy. And his sister's obviously got the respect of the north.
Mm-hmm.
Arya's alive, doing her thing. There's no Night King. The Night's Watch has been disbanded. He could just go be free and have no one to answer to, have no one to be responsible for, and just go do his thing.
I think that's tough for him to do because he's so honorable. It's just...
Well, that's his thing. He's going to have, broken his honor because he has to kill Daenerys.
Oh, man.
That's what's going to break him.
Okay.
So he just goes into self-imposed exile.
That makes sense. And then that'd make a lot of sense for him to go up to the north.
Because they set that up to where Tormund is going to the north, so that we know where he's going, and we just end the episode with the wall opening, the tunnel opening, and Tormund being there, and then they're walking towards their village or whatever.
That'd be cool.
I can see that. And then Sansa has the north, Gendry has the south, Bronn gets Highgarden, because of course he does.
He ends up winning.
The whole shebang.
Yeah.
So kind of a bittersweet ending where the people are safe, there's no Mad Queen, Cersei's gone, but there's just the kingdoms are separate now.
Yeah, they're all spread out.
To do their own thing, basically.
Damn. Yeah. That seems to be a good.
And I could also see Tyrion and Sansa actually getting back together once Daenerys is gone.
Yeah. That's true. But it felt like there's weird hatred towards him.
She doesn't like Daenerys, but she clearly likes him still. Maybe not that way, but very clearly still respects him and likes him as a person. As a friend, someone who protected her. I
can't remember if she gave him hateful glances during the episode.
No, I think they were kind of looking at each other, and then Daenerys makes something, and clearly Sansa's not having it. So
Like,
they
fuck it.
clearly lay out in episode 3 that the tension between them is all Daenerys.
Yeah,
That's pretty
that's
much
true.
it. So
Man. I hope he doesn't die. Damn it.
I don't think Tyrion. I don't know if he does.
God, he got so close this episode. He wants to give him a goddamn pincushion.
Yeah, I could see Tyrion dying too.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh man.
we'll see how that goes.
Frick. All right.
That'd be cool.
Would be.
So before we're
on.
prepping for Far From Home, you got any endgame? You got any final predictions, Austin, for episodes 5 and 6? And Joey,
Yes.
do you want to do anything for the finale? Do you want to like grill or do anything?
I wouldn't mind grilling.
Plus,
But I get home at 7, so probably
well,
not.
plus that. Well, we don't have to watch live.
Okay, that's true. Yeah.
Just turn off Twitter, and
Yeah. Oh god.
plus you know that bit rate's gonna be terrible because every one of their fucking dogs gonna be watching that. So we can
That's
watch it
fucking
late. That'd be fine. Also,
Yeah.
that's the weekend we're doing our charity stream. So
Okay.
if we hit the 2,000 super late,
Oh, shit,
we won't be
yeah.
doing the 40 nugget challenge.
Okay.
Not during the stream.
Not during the stream. Okay. So we can do it after. Oh yeah.
So
oh,
we
yeah,
can do
I'm
it
down
after.
then. Yeah.
And then do Game of Thrones after you've puked your guts out.
Oh yeah. I'm so ready. So ready to upchuck some nugs.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited about this. I gotta talk to some people about the stream, but
Okay.
what I'm gonna do, but I have some ideas. I gotta actually just send out some messages tomorrow when I get home because I don't have any stream plans or anything tomorrow. Outside of maybe mowing a little bit when I get home, if it doesn't rain yet. It's a little in the forecast for tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
So
No, off weird question. Speaking of mowing, I mowed and I mowed. I'm upset at myself.
say what?
I wasted it. I mowed and my depth was too long. Like I mowed 3 inches and I like a
Jesus, dude.
2.5. Yeah. So I'll be mowing
You
here
push
again.
you push a ride.
Push.
You just say you don't have enough big enough room to have a.
Yeah, it's
And
not
that
big enough
ditch
lawn
you
for a
got?
rider.
Where you go towards the south.
Fuck.
That'd be a real bitch with a
It
rider.
is pretty steep even with push. No.
Yeah.
It's a good
All
workout,
right.
needless to say.
Well, it is time, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for Far From Home.
Yeah.
This is the segment we call Fuck It, We'll Do It Live. Where Joey and I, or Joey or myself, watch something, a trailer, a clip, whatever, for the very first time. A lot of times it's going to be trailers because we try, especially because we're doing it earlier in the week, which is when a lot of trailers do drop, the first time before movies come out this coming week. Oh, sorry, stomach.
Very good.
We did some chicken for dinner. Might not have been super well cooked. It was good though. Paprika and I think it was like a garlic paprika pepper blend.
Ooh, fuck, dude. That's nice.
Like skinned
Any
that
sauce?
we grilled them on. No, it's a rub that you just kind of
Okay.
cake on. They're better baked though because you can get thicker.
Yeah.
It really bakes in the meat. Doing it that way, you really taste that paprika kick. Whereas on the grill, that kind of comes off. Steak, it gets seared versus baked in. You know
That really
how it
makes me
affects
wanna
meat differently.
Try my friend's. His mom makes a killer frickin' shake and bake.
Oh yeah.
Frickin'
You should try it. My
eggs,
mom's got the
chicken.
recipe for the seasoning. What we do is basically you get thighs,
Yeah.
just cake them on both sides, toss them in a 9x13, and bake them.
Okay.
Fucking
Damn.
fantastic.
Sounds delicious.
All right,
All right.
so it's time for Fuck It, We'll Do It Live. Joey, are you ready? Do
Yes.
you have the trailer pulled up?
Yes.
All right, guard your ears, people, and if you don't want any spoilers for Spider-Man Far From Home, or for Avengers Endgame if you haven't seen it, now's your cue. We'll be ending it pretty much shortly after, so thank you for watching,
Yeah.
and we'll see you next week, hopefully for episode 6. Plus, you might want to stick around a little bit for a post show if we have one. So, see what happens. All right, hit play in 3, 2, 1, go.
The Spider-Man Far From Home trailer is about to play, but if you haven't seen Avengers Endgame yet, stop watching because there's some serious spoilers about to come up. But if you have seen Avengers Endgame, enjoy the trailer.
Oh.
Everywhere I go, I see his face. I just really miss him.
Yeah, I miss him too. I don't think Tony would have done what he did if he didn't know that you were going to be here after he was gone.
You gonna be the next Iron Man now?
Well, no, I don't have time. I'm too busy doing your jobs.
I'm kidding. Look, keep up the good work.
Because I am going on vacation.
Heads up, Nick Fury's calling you.
I don't really want to talk to Nick
Answer
Fury.
the phone.
Why?
Because if you don't talk to him, then I have to talk to him. I don't want to talk to him. You sent Nick Fury to voicemail?
I gotta go.
You do not ghost Nick Fury.
What up, dorks?
What's up? We're just talking about the trip.
I'm here in St. Marco Polo's.
Oh, I think MJ really likes me.
That reminds me when I first fell in love.
You're a very difficult person to contact, Spider-Man. This is Mr. Beck.
We could have used someone like you on my world.
Your world?
Beck is from Earth, just not ours. The snap to our hole in our dimension.
You're saying there's a multiverse?
We have a job to do, and you're coming with us.
There's gotta be someone else you can use. What about Thor?
Off-world.
Captain Marvel?
Unavailable.
But I'm just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Bitch, please, you've been to space.
What do you want, Peter?
I want to go back on my trip with the girl who I really like and tell her how I feel. MJ, I...
I'm Spider-Man.
No, of course I'm not.
I mean, it's kind of obvious.
You're right, you may not be ready, but this is my responsibility. Saving the world requires sacrifice. Sometimes people die.
Oh my God.
I just always feel like I'm putting my friends in danger. The world needs the next Iron Man.
You going to step up or not?
I gotta get you guys out of here! Get on the jet! Who are you? I work with Spider-Man.
You work for Spider-Man?
I work with Spider-Man, not for Spider-Man. New plan!
That was
Yeah.
good. That was good.
Okay. So who the hell is the Vec dude?
That's Mysterio, who apparently is a different Earth Mysterio, and may
Yeah.
not actually be a bad guy like Mysterio is in the comics.
Okay.
Maybe that's a little subversion of. Yeah, he's totally not a villain.
Okay.
Because I could see that with the Spider-Man, the story is about stepping up, not beating the
Yeah.
villain. I could see that for a Spider-Man movie, more so than a lot of other superhero comics.
Yeah. Instead of avoiding it, be stepping up to it.
Because Mysterio in the comics is a guy who fakes, he's a con artist, he fakes being a hero to get respect.
Yeah. Oh yeah. God.
And I don't know, I could see him doing it with Jake Gyllenhaal, because he actually plays a really awesome bad guy. So I could see him making that turn very easily, and I would enjoy it. I'd also really like it if they left him a hero.
I
Like,
think I'd like it better if they left him a hero. No.
leave him a hero, and he goes back to his Earth to be a hero.
Okay.
I think that'd be pretty cool. Plus, this is the movie, man, that end, they set up the multiverse. Imagine the end tag for this one. Because this is the last movie in Phase 3. After this movie, they haven't announced shit. They're going to have a big event probably either at Comic-Con or D23 or their own Phase 4 reveal party like they did for Phase 3. Imagine the end tag for this one where they've teased the multiverse and we get like the old Fantastic Four theme, or we get the X2, X United theme, like the John Ottman theme, or you get the 90s X-Men theme.
referencing any of those
Then they start
universes
playing
would be
that,
great.
and then you see the like claws or something rip through the screen. That's the teaser.
Shit.
Be like, oh shit, the theater would fucking lose their goddamn minds if that happened.
Frickin', they totally would.
And because of, I would love if they do it with X-Men or Fantastic Four, because Spider-Man's got great connections to both.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes, yeah.
he's one of Johnny Storm's best friends, you know, the Human Torch, and he's also technically kind of a mutant. Like he's been with the X-Men on a lot of stuff. And he's a great foil for Wolverine. I would love to see that.
I would laugh a lot, but I think it'd be hard for them to do it with Deadpool. Oh,
Oh, that'd be really cool. Like,
Right.
or that, maybe another tag. Peter's just walking around New York, turns around, huh, it's fucking Deadpool.
yeah, this is,
It's
hey!
And it's Ryan Reynolds goes, hey. And
Dude,
cut
I
to
would
black.
love that.
That would be so cool. I would lose my shit if that happened. That'd be one of the greatest moments of comic book movies for me, is seeing something like that happen. And they're clearly making the multiverse like a C plot of the movie, something like that. And that'd be a great thing to pay off in a post-credit scene with them.
Fuck. It would be.
That was
So,
real
like,
fun.
Do you think we'll get like a Glenn Spider-Man then?
Spider-Gwen.
Gwen. Sorry, Jesus Christ, John.
What are we
I'm
talking?
sorry.
John Glenn, the astronaut?
John Glenn, the actor.
Yeah.
No,
I could see
Spider-Gwen.
them doing that eventually because they haven't done Gwen Stacy in the MCU yet.
Yeah.
So I could see them doing a multiverse Gwen Stacy for sure.
Okay.
That would, I think, make the most sense because you don't need to retread the Gwen Stacy romance.
Yeah.
That was like the only one of the best parts of the last two Andrew Garfield movies was her arc in those movies and her eventual death. You don't need to retread that because you've already done a different girlfriend and now you're clearly doing MJ with a very popular actress. So there's no need to do the Gwen Stacy bit unless you make her Spider-Gwen, which would be pretty fucking cool. After the success of Into the Spider-Verse, I'd fucking love to see that shit in the MCU. Are you kidding me?
That's got my vote, man. Just saying.
That'd be awesome. Phase 4 could just say, all right, well, fuck the world-ending Endgame level stuff. Let's just do cool shit like Spider-Gwen and multiverse. Let's bring in let's do a 60s movie with the Fantastic Four. Let's bring the X-Men into the universe. Let's see how that looks. Like, just do smaller, self-contained stories and then slowly ramp up Secret Wars. Secret Invasion, where the Skrulls invade and like take over bodies and stuff. Basically, Invasion of the Body Snatchers in comic books.
Okay.
You slowly tease that over like half a dozen, 6, 7, 8 movies, and they're all fun movies regardless with characters we come to love.
And then bring Captain Marvel in because of the Skrulls. Damn.
Yep.
That'd be pretty cool.
Because one of those movies is going to be as Guardians of the Galaxy with James Gunn, and I'm so excited for that movie. I'm more excited for that than I am for anything Marvel's ever done. It's James Gunn with Chris Hemsworth, and we're going to get we're going to get an epic Thor sequence from James Gunn.
So fucking hard,
It's going to be so fucking cool.
I'm excited to see Buff Thor again. Freaking, there's going to be a scene where he's just doing curls, all sweaty, shirt off.
Yeah, he's just going to come in, shirtless, Stormbreaker, wreck fucking shop.
Oh, God, it's gonna be
Gonna be fantastic.
Do you think they're gonna bring Loki in?
No, not for now.
You think so? Okay.
Not for now. But he's got a show too coming, so he'll have a show.
Oh, okay.
It's basically going to be Legends of Tomorrow, but with Marvel and on Disney Plus. Legends of Tomorrow, by the way. If you were ever going to start a show and get through it to the end, I would highly recommend Legends because it's just super dumb fun.
Okay.
And it's just, they fucking go so hard in the dumb fun camp route.
My favorite kind of fun.
Exactly. It's like the perfect show for you.
Okay.
It's the ultimate fuck it, why not kind of sci-fi.
I like those kind of mentalities when it comes to like...
They just literally, like, season 1, they kind of lean into the, all right, let's kind of explain the why. Like the Star Trek-y kind of route.
Oh.
They kind of over-explain the time travel mechanics and stuff. And then once all the groundwork is laid, they just they kind of give the audience a side-eye and go, fuck it. Let's go crazy.
What if we did this?
Let's have our guy who's Heatwave grab his torch gun and just fucking roast Nazis. Fuck it. Why not? Like, shit like that. I love that show. Just unabashedly, it's one of my favorite shows that's on TV right now. But we've been going for a little over an hour of actual podcast time, which is about what we like to do here.
Yeah.
For just BSing. So thank you everyone for watching. If you like this kind of content, definitely give us a follow over at twitch.tv/bottomshelfnerds. The link is in the description. So you can talk to people live as we discuss things like Game of Thrones. We're obviously going to be talking John Wick, Godzilla, the summer movie slate, TV shows we're following, finales that come out like The 100 and iZombie are going to be ending this summer, probably in late June sometime. RTX. Who knows what I'm going to do during RTX because I'm going to be in Austin for like 7 days. It's going to be awesome. And we're going to have a Spider-Man Far From Home podcast. We got a lot of stuff in the works. A lot of irons in the fire, so to speak. Plus, we might be bringing in some more consistent dual streams where we do maybe, I don't know, something called Halo. Maybe you've heard of it?
Yes.
Where we play that. I stream on my old channel, and Joey streams on the BSN. And we multi-stream it up. It'd be pretty fucking cool.
Fun.
So yeah, give us a follow there. Like and subscribe on here to stay up to date with all the latest videos we post, which will be a weekly podcast and hopefully maybe one other video, along with my creative stream videos here on the Twitch channel, which are bringing back Wartburg's Woodburning Workshop Wednesdays.
How many W's?
4 at least. Maybe get
Four
5.
at least. Okay.
Yeah, Wartburg's wonderful wood burning workshop Wednesdays.
So the logo would just be like www
It's
fading
just
into
5
each other.
W's fading into each other. Yeah, it's gonna be a dope time because I've been doing a lot of wood burning, and I'm really excited to see where things go with that. So, thanks everyone for watching. Have a good rest of the week, and we will see you next week for our reactions to episode 5 of Game of Thrones and a whole lot more. Bye.
Beep.